All right. So I think while that is preparing,
Oh, this meeting is being live streamed.
we should be going. Yeah. Got it. All right. Here's our little notes from before when we were getting our stuff figured out, but that's so funny. I'm going to always remember now.
I can hear you.
I can hear you, but I could not hear you before. I can still hear you, but how else can you do this? I guess besides call each other on a cell phone when we're trying to figure that sound out. That's so funny. Welcome, Julie. Should we play music or is that just too much in the background?
We can do whatever I'm following your lead.
All right.
My trust is in you.
Music.
What needs to be
I
done.
had some music going last time, and I'm not sure if moderation helps everyone feel safe. Good. Close. All right. So if you are on and you are listening, let me know because I have the chat window up so that I can try and follow along as well. I'm going to get us all situated. Julie, you're getting yourself all situated there
I am. I'm trying to find where I want to start. Where to start?
Is that just like not the perennial? Do I start with a blank page? Am I feeling a blank page today? Do you have lots of starts in there? That's what I did in a class earlier today. I led a class I called Living in Your Journal for the Handmade Book Club and talked about just starting, right? Just living in your journal to me sometimes just means sometimes today I'm feeling a Stabilo pencil and that's it. But other days I've got all kinds of paint and pastels. And this is one of the pages that I worked on earlier tonight. Excellent. Heather can hear. Web. Hi, good evening. Hi, guys. I know there's a little bit of a delay. So if you are chatting with us now, good. You have sound. You can hear us. Excellent. I'm not even playing music yet, but as long as you can hear us talking,
a little bigger so I can see.
We're good. What should we listen to? We should have a Julie and Andrea sound. I think we do actually playlist, but I don't remember.
From one of our classes.
I know, right?
I think
from way back when.
And I still create playlists for myself for our, a vibe, right?
Yeah.
And, I collect music, right? So if I go into a place and I hear something I love, I just put out the Shazam and then I just keep adding them. And they're kind of, right now, they're by year.
So do you have a Spotify playlist?
I do.
Oh, tell me what it's called.
All right, let's see. But let me check and see if it's open.
I know, right?
You have to make it like public, I think. But I thought I made one for Juicy Soul Retreat one time. I'm looking now to see where that would be. What am I listening to now? Oh, I made this one called, is that one public? Called Cocktails 2023. And it's not private. And share, let me share it with you. And let's share, how do I do that? Share it with messages, all this technology, Andrea.
I know, and I'm actually on my husband's one, so I'm just looking for your.
Oh, here, let me see. I did on your. Okay, so I sent it.
Oh, there we go.
To your, I don't, I know. I was somewhere and someone said, how about some music that's background music that's not a lot of words and it's just kind of old-timey, jazzy thingies, so that, and I'm
liking that. Yeah.
It'll all be new. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I just started collecting a bunch of stuff. And so, so I'm just trying to find a place to start. This is a journal that I had, I covered a bunch of it in white, just to open up space because there was just so much going on. I didn't feel like I could start anywhere, but I'm not feeling this one. So let me it's gotta feel like something. It's
Yeah. It's got to call to you.
Yeah.
What supplies do you think you want to get your hands on? That sometimes, I'll start with like what supplies I want to use, and then I'll find a place to use them.
Yeah, I've got, I love a big Sharpie. So I bought this really huge set of brand new Sharpies because they dry out really easy. So maybe I'll start and just see what happens with some Sharpie action.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough of that. So now let's see what we're gonna do. Ooh, let's do some paint. No,
I'm playing with pastels in the Watch Learn Play membership this month. And so and loosely related pastels, if they have the word pastel in it, like this is water soluble wax pastel is what the Neo Color 2s call themselves. So, all right, then what else is related to that is kind of what we're playing with. But I love the way that they, when you put them down, the water soluble things, and then you spritz them with water. They do that, like, I don't know, sort of feathery thing, the little capillary action of the water.
That's nice.
I love that.
Like this needs something else like color. I have my little what's that, the little tray thing that you used to have at the studio that has all my art supplies, the rolly thing.
Your cart.
That little cart. And I just like wheeling that around and then finding stuff on there, finding things, right? Like discovering what I already have purchased, but I haven't used in a long time. Feels like a discovery.
I'm finding that I'm organizing my studio right now, thinking about setting up my studio in Oregon, and I'm rediscovering things, and I'm just putting like items together to see exactly how many of this stuff do I have. Can I leave some here? Am I taking all of it? What's going on?
Okay, what is happening in Oregon? I missed
the
memo on that.
Yes,
I am
leaving San Jose next week to go up and furnish the Watch Learn Playhouse, which is our brand new retreat property in Oregon City, just south of Portland.
Lovely. Congratulations.
And thank you, ma'am. And so that is where I'm setting up my next studio so that I can do filming and stuff like that when I'm up there in Oregon running retreats. I need to have a space where I can still carry on my regular, weekly stuff that I do with my membership. So I need to set up another studio, and it's kind of fun and exciting to think about. Like, I have my kid, Andy, is a interior architect, and we're working together to build it out, because it's like I know exactly what I have, what needs storage, what my issues are, what the shape of the storage that I need, and all of that. So it's going to be really fun to have them build this for me custom.
Ooh, that sounds fantastic,
right?
That sounds just like a dream come true.
Indeed.
I wonder, was that at all on, I know years ago we did a vision board.
Yes.
And we put all these amazing things on the vision board.
So many of those things. I have all of those vision boards, and so many of them have, everything is so fulfilled on it. It's not, I mean, I want to say amazing, but that's like not the right word. Yes.
Yes,
it's validating. It's validating.
Yes,
it's validating. That's the word I was looking for. It's like,
it makes you do it more often. It makes you say, this is part of the thing that's supposed to happen. I need to ever so often do this.
Oh, and seriously, just like paying attention. And my whole intention this year of noticing, I feel like with that as my word of the year and kind of this guiding principle, noticing, I really truly feel like this whole process of finding this property was because of my intentional noticing, right? I'm noticing when something grabs a hold of me and won't let go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of that. I could not get this place out of my mind and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I'm like, all right, well, like I'm noticing this for a reason. So maybe I just need to talk about it some more.
Mm-hmm.
And then, one thing led to another. And my husband was kind of on the same page. Well, not kind of, he was totally on the same page. And so, yeah, just everything fell into place. And I think it was because I'm intentionally noticing stuff,
noticing, planning,
exactly.
dreaming, visioning,
and taking action. Not, it goes beyond just noticing, right? It's
right.
it's the notice and then what? Now what am I going to do with that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I just noticed I'm upside down. Yep, I do love a little manifesting surprise. Maybe not so surprised, but I love when it happens. This past weekend, I went with a good girlfriend and another two good friends to go see a concert in Santa Cruz. And I haven't been to a concert in like forever. And we were there dancing. And all of a sudden I realized, everyone's kind of dancing to their own thing in here. Like, it was like we're hearing the same thing, but people's reaction to what they were listening to was different.
Interesting.
And I remember just thinking, like, I could see the two people that were kind of dancing with the same kind of listen, maybe hearing the same beats. And I could see some other people, it's like these two people hear the same thing, and these three people hear the same thing, but these people are hearing something different. And it's just interesting. You can be all in the same space. So I guess inside of the conversation about manifesting and creating things, it's like not everybody will hear that calling.
Yeah.
But you're definitely tuned in when you're paying attention.
Yeah, I definitely was at that time. And I think that I'm not always. I think that, there are times where it comes easier than others.
Right.
I like adding that little layer of kind of grungy gray over top of the sweet pinks and leaf greens I was using earlier.
Oh, wow. Maybe more like I want to Mod Podge, or what do you call it? Collage more things. Well, I have a lot of light in here, but it looks very dark on my screen.
You have some natural light coming in there.
Yeah, just the sun's coming down here.
Yeah,
this part of town.
It is too for me, but it's on the back side of my house, not I'm facing the front. So my house is backlit right now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to let dry because I can't turn it over without it sticking to everything. But now I made a bunch of these kind of junk journals. And I just love them because they're pieces of other journals that I didn't want to use anymore.
Oh yeah. So you just cut them up
apart.
Julie, your focus is there we go. It's maybe
is it going in and out?
Lock. Yeah. So maybe hit focus lock so that it doesn't keep zooming in and out with your movement.
Let me see how I can see what you're seeing. Where is this? This is this way. Okay. Is it still moving or no?
Nope.
Okay.
That looks good.
Okay.
This is a nice playlist.
I love my TikTok people. Somebody
What?
something on TikTok and then about some of this and this music.
Yeah.
And I took that and ran with it and made my playlist from that. Because I love I don't know. I love having the experience of hearing things, music that I'm not exposed to all the time. That I think that also informs a lot of my creativity.
I agree.
Music that I've never heard,
Yeah.
It's not in my normal rotation.
Absolutely. I love that. I would love to be in a group where people routinely shared and contributed and, we like sort of crowdsourced different vibe, you know what I mean? Like playlists that had interesting different music on it. Within my creative community. I don't know.
Yeah. So when you go up to Oregon, how long will you stay? You're going to just stay there
this time I'm staying until the first week of September when I'm coming back for a special event with a good friend of mine. That first weekend in September 9, I need to be back for that. And then I think I'm going to turn around and go back up the 22nd of September, and I'll stay up there then and into October because I'm teaching at Art and Soul in Portland in October. And so that is the plan. So I'm hoping this trip to be able to furnish it or at least get a lot of the furnishing done and get the flooring in my studio set up. I've got it picked out. I just have to have the place measured and get it ordered and installed.
Right.
So hopefully I can get all that managed this trip, and then next trip do more details, more finishing stuff.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. But the plan is to have some events coming up starting in October and November already on my calendar. So, and we want to host Thanksgiving there this year. So that's also
that'll be
nice driving. Yeah.
The whole family going.
Yeah. How are things going with you?
Good. Work has been busy, and I'm looking forward to some trips in the fall. We have a wedding to finish up. And my husband's nephew is getting married. So, and he's officiating. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah. That is exciting.
That'll be exciting for us to enjoy. Plus, it's been a while since we've kind of gotten out of here for a little bit. So I'm kind of looking forward to taking a little bit of a break from the Bay Area and seeing a new environment. Going to be in Minnesota. Never been. So that'll be fun. I've been doing morning pages in the morning before work.
Yeah.
It's been very relaxing.
Yeah.
Really relaxing.
How do you do your morning pages? Like strictly Julia Cameron style, or have you developed your own flow for it?
It's probably more of my own flow. I used to try to write words. And now I just scribble. I don't think it's usually not important for me to go back and see what I've said.
Yeah.
I don't read it again. So it's just a matter of imitating the motions of a handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
And then it allows me to go faster. So then I just think thoughts, scribble. And I've learned over time it's helpful. It's just like I will solve problems whether I actually see it written down or
right.
Not.
Yeah.
As things will pop up. And it's usually not within the first few minutes. Usually takes a little bit, like at the beginning, it's just kind of outflow.
Mm-hmm.
But then at some point, I actually started here, feeling like, oh, okay, I got a solution to something I've been thinking about, or a different perspective, which is great because before, I start the day doing things with other people. It's good to just know where I'm at.
Yeah, for sure. I love that so much. And I love that there's so many different ways to do it. And what unifies all the ways to do it is the intention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I sit down to do my, morning practice, my morning pages, whatever you want to call it, but sitting there with the intention of, what my intention is, the act of the prayer and meditation portion of it. And it rarely looks the same from day to day, but I always get what I'm looking for.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. And I was thinking a lot about, people and their practices, and I'm so grateful to have my art to relax me when I'm stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes when there are stressful situations happening out in the world, I just think, thank goodness that I have this practice. And, when I'm teaching, the intention is to teach people to also create whatever practice works for them too. Because the world can get very busy. And
and noisy.
Very.
Yeah.
And I had I took a yoga class this week. And I remember the yoga. Yes, I did.
Did you do the Monday one that since we talked last, I've been wanting to do that?
Yeah, actually the Monday class that I ended up taking is yin yoga. So it's very relaxing. It's it's more like fixed poses that you hold for a few minutes, and then you let the gravity in your body move into the pose, which is great for me because I think I was trying to jump in the deep end and do something really hard, but I just want to keep coming back.
Yeah.
So if I make it too hard for myself, I think I'm just going to be like, oh, I don't, I can't do it today. I'm too tired. But this yoga is very, very relaxing. And I just remember this week he was saying he's taking some training, and he was spending some time talking about how the gift of being a yoga teacher is, particularly in the Bay Area, with as busy as things can get, is it teaches people how to stop.
Oh yeah.
Like his role is to give people the opportunity to stop. Because there's so much, movement and activity and people getting places or doing things and trying to accomplish stuff. And I thought that's fantastic because that's how I feel. I come there to stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stop thinking, stop trying, stop, just be with people and just stop for a minute.
And we have someone saying hi. Hello, good to see you. KDA J Walker. Hi there. Glad you're here. Sorry, I'm not looking over and monitoring the chat as much, but if you guys have any questions or any comments, we would love to hear from you. I know we get on here and we get talking and I'm like, oh, I forget that people are even watching. It's just fun to get on here and catch up with friends.
You know what this is? Shiny, brilliant 3D fabric paint. I don't like it.
No,
I don't like that. But I saw it here sitting here and I thought, let me try it. And so me, I'm like, I don't like that. Get rid of it.
Yep.
It just gets in my way.
I tap into my inner Julie when I'm trying to let go of things. You're so good at that. I'm going to have to get much better at it with the move and releasing things.
I feel like things come in when I let go of them. That's why I feel like I'm so relaxed about it, because I'm like, I feel like it's blocking something. I feel like when it's sitting there, it's just blocking me. It's blocking what I'm trying to accomplish. And I don't want anything to block me. Simple.
I hear you. I hear you. Thanks for articulating that, because that really sounds true to me. And I know when I do finally like let things go, like even in my studio this last weekend, I moved everything out because I wanted to take the carpet out and needed to either be washed, in vacuumed, whatever. It's one of those ruggables, so I could throw it in the wash. But I moved everything out of here in order to get to the carpet. And then I didn't want to put anything back in. I'm like, oh, this feels good. This feels new. This feels different. I'm like, yeah, less is more sometimes. Like, just the change was all I needed.
Well, and also I feel like it's particularly with my art supplies, there are things that I feel like I could hear myself keep because, I spent money on it.
Yeah.
Right. Like I have to keep this thing, but every time I see it, I don't want to use it. I'm angry that I probably spent money on whatever it is. You know what I mean? There's like this feeling of like, why do I continue to let myself have that experience? Just let it go. And I have yet to throw something away that I'm like, oh, where is that thing? Oh, I should have kept it. Never, not once.
Interesting.
It's gone out of my mind, moved on.
And if that's not your experience, if you have gotten rid of something and then had that remorse because you all of a sudden, you found like, oh, this would be the perfect project for that, just realize that there is abundance, and this thing, whatever it is that you need, will come back. Like something will be there, right? You will have all that you need in the moment. And I think it's just developing that mindset for myself that has made all the difference. Because then I can let it go. And I realize that even if I didn't have that specific, like, okay, I just rediscovered this in my stash, whatever the heck this thing is. It says Maxon chalk marker. I could very easily get rid of it. It's a Holbein product, which that's cool. I have no idea what it is, but if I got rid of it and then next week my favorite creator was using this thing, right? I'd be like, oh, isn't that interesting? That's synchronistic that I just got rid of that thing. And then there she is using it. Right. I don't know that I would be upset. Because there's always something else new to discover.
Right.
So when I let go of something, then something else will come in, even if it's not that, same thing. Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree. I don't know. As I said, having less stuff sometimes, like seeing, because I just went through I have a section where I have a bunch of, actually I had a whole art room for the longest. And now I reduced everything down to a couple of drawers. And, I have to open up each one of the drawers and look inside of them and see what they have. But I have not missed any of the other things, because some of that stuff were projects that I wasn't going to do. I bought things oh my gosh, I had a whole period of time where I was going to make aprons.
Yeah.
And I bought fabric and I did all this stuff. And
now, was this pre-2020? Was this post? Has this been like in
pre-2020?
Pre-2020. Okay. So you were set up then during COVID with fabric and stuff. Did you end up making any masks or anything like that? Not one.
I really thought like, oh yeah, got all the stuff. I'm going to sit down. It was interesting. I'm impressed that people during that time took the time to do certain things, but I don't know. I just felt myself like glued to the television watching trauma, like what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So it took a while before I was like, okay, let's use this as an opportunity to explore new things. During that time, they used to have a lot of these like concerts online, like different people were doing. And I used those times to be creative because I could listen to live performers do things. They would do these different events to help people with being relaxed and focused on other things and what's going on. And So I used to enjoy that, but that's probably as close as I got to like using the time to be creatively productive. And it was interesting because I remember seeing something where they were saying, you know, hey, if you're one of these people that didn't do that, like relax, like
Yeah.
because there are people like, oh,
you can
right,
stop
I
being
wrote a
hyper
book.
vigilant about everything. Yeah.
I used the time to write a book and start a business. Like what?
Yeah.
You know, so someone's like,
I did feel the fallout of that. I didn't really expect it, but when I jumped into action, like I think March 13, we got notice, and March 17, 15 or 17, something like that was my first online class. It was just a few days later. And I don't think I ever stopped or paused and anything. Like I just never stopped. I just kept going, and gratefully so. Like it definitely kept my sanity, I feel, during that time. But then I just never stopped. And I just kept going. And yeah, it caught up with me. And I felt like that frog in the boiling pot. Like I didn't realize that it was,
oh, interesting.
you know, that I was at a pace that I couldn't maintain. And yeah. Fascinating what we learn about ourselves.
Yeah. What I know that I spent more time kind of connecting with certain family members, you know, realizing, wow, you know, we can actually have a class online. We can actually like watch television together, and
yeah,
you know, actually. So I think there's a lot of threads that I have now with friends and family that I didn't have before, that we started during that time. Because, you know, at first we were just sharing where you can get things, right?
Yeah.
Where do you get alcohol? Where do you get rubbing alcohol? Like, get some
hand
for me too.
sanitizer, toilet paper.
Yeah, so it started off kind of like that, and then it evolved into like, oh, it's really good to kind of check in with everybody and chit chat and talk. And you know, now that's kind of extended into now. I think we're doing some activities together, and you know, so it's good.
Yeah, that's neat. I love the connections that I made during, and they're like very treasured relationships that I have now.
Is here that I haven't played with in a while. I bought these maybe during the pandemic, some, now that we're talking about it, some paints, just colors that I don't normally use.
Yeah.
And some of them are not that expensive, but I think even maybe from the dollar store, because these ones are from the dollar store because they're very, very liquidy. So maybe we'll just use those up today.
Okay, so now I'm looking back over. Lisa's asking, does Julie teach classes as well? Yes, Julie and I have taught together before. We have taught Juicy Soul Retreat. Are you doing anything currently, Julie?
I am not at the moment, but I am in a book. So Kasha, she created a website called Everything Everywhere. Anyway, she wrote a book about the creative process, and her book came out, and she asked a bunch of artists to contribute. And so now I'm getting lots of requests. So I'm thinking maybe I need to think about putting something online, because my style is to do exactly what I'm doing here. Like I don't just normally jump right into doing an art journal. I like to do painted pages first.
Yeah.
That gets my juices going.
Yep.
And so when I taught that class for Kasha, I did the similar thing. I explained like how you do this part first, and then the meditative process after that to put it in your journal. So anyway, it's on my mind right now. So maybe
I will keep at her, who that was asking, Lisa Washburn, and stay tuned. And hi, Casey. Now I know KDAJ Walker is Casey, and Kim Brown. Hi. Kim was wondering where Kim is a local and wondering where your yoga was.
I took yoga. Yeah, I took it at the Bay Club. used to be called the decathlon. But the guy that teaches is Eli Yin. I think he teaches in other areas in the Bay Area, but he teaches a couple of, they're mostly gentle yoga classes, which is that's what I need. Be very gentle.
Excellent.
Okay. You know, I don't know. There's this, I kind of have a thing where I like to go hard, you know, like, okay, I'm going to do yoga and I'm going to really do it.
Yeah.
The hardest one.
Yeah.
Crazy, stop. You know, you don't need anything hard. Just go, just do something relaxing, enjoy yourself, go into it. You can do things easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think.
Oh my gosh. This is synchronistic.
What's happening now?
I was just talking with my friend Allie Manning of the Handmade Book Club today before the class that I taught for her. And I said exactly the same thing, Julie. I'm like, what if it could be easy?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about how somehow we've learned this narrative that it can't be of value unless it's really hard.
Yep.
And so I'm going to just like
mm-hmm.
go for the really hard thing. And that, you know, of course it can't be valuable unless it's really hard. And I'm like, no, what if there could be value in something that's really, really easy?
Yep. I agree. I definitely feel like there's something like on, what do you call this? It's like I'm cheating by doing it easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who made that up?
Right.
Who started that story? Because that is not helpful.
But I love when we recognize that it's a story.
Yeah.
And we can flip the narrative and be like, okay, well, that's not what's working for me.
Well, and also, I mean, where that came from was my morning pages. I mean, that's where we started off. Yeah. It's like, it's me sitting down in the morning in quiet and recognizing, wait a minute, like I haven't done yoga and I'm a bad and wrong person for not doing yoga and I need it. Like, why am I making, who is saying that?
Right. Yeah. Right.
Like, I'm going to talk to myself that way. Like, what?
Yeah. First of all, who's saying that? And then, okay, I acknowledge you, sweet young thing. Yeah.
Like, why am I talking to myself like that? So then that, you know, then I could say, well, what then, you know, what's the truth? What's the truth then?
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I just need to do something that feels like flow. And that's what I did. And then, of course, you know, then it comes into view because I mean, we've belonged to that gym for 2 years. Lots of things have been on the calendar. Suddenly I see yin yoga. Like, what? That's been here for, like, you know, because I know it's because I said, gentle. And here comes gentle.
Beautiful.
Because I was looking at hard. I found hard because there's hard out there.
Oh, yeah.
There's hard if you want it.
No, thank you. I'll take it easy, please.
Not today.
There's enough things that I do in my life that are hard. There's no easy button for. So I think I'm going to take the easy button.
Yep. Can I just say that I love a palette knife?
Yes.
Can I just have a moment to say palette knives are awesome? And I'm going, is this big thing? What is this? This is adhesive. No, don't want that. For a nice gesso somewhere. What do I have? Oh, there's a clear gesso. Oh, look at that big one. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love some gesso and a palette knife. This feels like it needs to dry. Now, do you work? I see you kind of stay in. Are you two journals?
I have been working lately where I nest them. And so I use one. This is my everything journal where my lists and everything end up. Like this is where my morning pages go. This is where I plan my next stencil. This is where everything ends up here. So it ends up kind of being the palette that catches all that. You can see how I can nestle something smaller. So then this comes to the couch with me and I brain dump on it and do my morning pages and all that, but do my calendar. Okay, this is scary. This is how long we have till the end of the year. This is it.
Wow.
This is it. Crazy.
Make it count.
Crazy.
I know. I was thinking, I know that we make jokes at work about pumpkin spice season, but I love pumpkin spice season. I love it. And I know it creates all kinds of, people make faces, but because to me, it signifies a transition.
Yeah, I love the fall for sure.
It just feels like, we've done summer.
Yeah.
And we're on to the next thing.
Yeah, the next thing. That's right.
But it does seem like after we get past the September timeframe, everything just moves like lickety split.
Yeah. And what's interesting? This year, I decided that July, because I don't know, I get these sort of anxiety pockets around certain times of the year that things start going really fast, or like in July, doesn't it always feel like everybody's on vacation? And so then it's like, oh, well, we can't plan this because so-and-so's on vacation. Like there just seems to always be people are moving, going and doing. And so summer can feel really kind of chaotic and disconnected. And so this year intentionally in July, well, it's the way that it ended up on the calendar too, but intentionally in July, I'm like, I'm going to see how easy I can make this. And so even though everything in my entire world was shifting, I had this intentionality of like, what would be the easy way for this to happen? Or, whatever it was that I was doing. And it felt really good and possible and doable. And I ended up accomplishing a whole lot. Like I didn't feel like I took the easy way out, in the respect that then I didn't get anything done. I just intended for it to feel easy breezy, and it did. That's all. Right.
Yeah, it can be that simple.
Yeah. Exactly. Like there's no more complicated, and it's not even necessary to make it more complicated. It just
it can be that easy.
Yeah.
But it does require thinking. I mean, I last year around this time, and I'm going to do it again, I looked ahead at, what the plan was for the holiday and thought, how do I want to spend the next couple of months?
Yeah.
And then block off time and, get it planned. It doesn't have to be like super, super planny, but I don't know. I always find that if I don't think ahead to what I want to do, I'm last on my list. So planning it and thinking about it helps me to recognize I need to get on my own list. And there are things that I want to do. Because last year for the holiday, I wanted to do the thing that they do in San Jose called Enchant, where you can see the Christmas stuff, and you need to get tickets early. And I always would miss the ability to do that, or couldn't get on a good day. And then last year we planned it and went.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm glad that I put that on my list of things. Made it happen.
Isn't it amazing how when we actually take the time to write down what it is that we want, we actually somehow take it more seriously?
Yeah.
And actually follow through and do it. And it's like, there's magic in writing things down.
There sure is. And if I don't put it down, it doesn't happen. I know this for myself. If I don't, and I think there was something I was watching once where they were just saying like, plan your ideal week.
Yeah.
What does that look like? And I remember thinking, I don't even know what that looks like, because there's a lot of things that I have to do each week. So what else am I planning? But then last year, I thought, I want to make sure I get all of my doctor's appointments done.
Uh-huh.
So I wrote down what needed to be done. I made all those appointments. And of course, I'm glad that I did it, because man, scheduling appointments for doctors requires, sometimes it's months before
I'll tell you, no kidding. And then it's no wonder I don't want to I don't want to go to my GP, because I know that it's going to involve follow up with this or follow whatever. Right. So it does. It takes commitment.
So this year, at the beginning of the year, I did all of that, and I was able to get all my appointments. So there's still others that I've, to your point, when you go, there's you should probably have this other thing done, and get it all planned, but at least it's all on the calendar.
Yeah.
Each year I have to get new contact lenses, because the contact lenses, the context, I don't know, they change, the prescription, the material it's made out of changes. So I have to get a new one. And my particular contact lenses come from Australia. So it takes a while to get. And so it means I have to really plan this ahead of time. I don't want to be in 1 year. I need to travel somewhere. And I thought, oh my goodness, I got to hurry up and get these back so that I can be on my trip,
Yeah.
And then this year, because I do so a little bit of international travel, it's time to get new passports. And passports are taking a long time right now. For those people that need to do that, you got to start that early. It's taking a couple of months to get, even if you already have a passport, to get that renewed. So earlier this year, someone brought that up, and I thought, oh yeah, I don't want to get caught up and not have that handled.
Yeah, right. Nothing like.
Yeah. Because you used to be able to go right up to San Francisco and just say, hey, I'm traveling in 2 weeks, and get another passport. But I believe they're not really honoring that, or I've heard some people have some trouble with that. So for those of you traveling somewhere, you don't need a renewal, you better get on the stick.
I think mine is all up to date right now, but good to know.
Yeah. Last year, my sister-in-law gave me beautiful, someone, I don't know, you probably know them, some folks that they ask individual artists to provide art, and then they put them in this kind of daily calendar thing. And so I'm to the end of it almost, and I thought, I'm just going to rip all those.
Is it the Artist Almanac?
Yes. Yeah. So, which is, that's a fun idea. And I was just using them here because I don't put them as a background, and then I'll probably cover a bunch of it with gesso. When you have to tell me, because it's my first time doing this with you, when folks follow, do they also create art at the same time with us?
I am hoping so. Are you guys making art out there? I bet Casey's making art. I bet Heather's making art. I bet Kim's making art. Lisa, are you making art? You guys can post it on, let's see, where could they post it? Wonder if you can post pictures in the comments on YouTube.
It'd be really fun to see what people are, if they're doing it. If you guys are doing it, it'd be good to see what you're up to.
Yeah, and I will definitely also post. I could post it in the comments right now. Nancy Kaworka is, yes, making art. Heather Eberhardt is making art.
Nice.
Julie, what's your Instagram again? It's at
Red Dragonfly Studio. I have to look at myself and see Red Dragonfly Studio. Yep, so Red Dragonfly Studio.
I put that in the chat so that if you guys wanted to go find and follow Julie.
Great to have you.
We should definitely plan another Juicy Soul retreat, my friend.
Yep. Sounds like it's time. It's time.
It is. And we could even take it on the road and do it in Oregon.
Oh boy. Look out for trouble.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Yep, I do. I do think it's a good idea to do it in lots of different places.
Excellent. Oh, and Deb Murray is making art in her everything journal. Excellent, Deb.
Love it, everything journal. Because it has everything.
All the things.
All the things. My little cousin she's 10.
Already? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. She has summer camp, her first overnight. So I made her a little card so that she'll get it when I think they start next week.
Oh, sweet.
So she'll get it, and I put glitter inside. So when she opens it, it'll go everywhere.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Take that, counselors.
Right.
So, but I went to camp as a little kid, and I just remember those letters being so precious, like somebody writing and remembering you and putting gum or something small in there was like a little surprise. I just love that. Really
we always did that for our kids. When they went to camp, we would send the care packages.
So it's so precious. I always loved summer camp as a kid, and it was you're all excited when it's time to go, and then you get there and you're by myself. I don't know these people. You get homesick and want to come home, but the thought of it, the planning of it was always my favorite. It still is my favorite part of any trip is the planning.
Is it?
What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? What are we going to wear? What restaurants? And research ahead of time. I enjoy that part.
I love that for you. I wish that is mine. That is not. Oh my goodness. My favorite part of any trip is like wheels up, or wheels out of the driveway, or wheels up on the airplane, or that moment when you're like, okay, all right, I'm here. We're here.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I've always loved the getting ready part. But I don't love the night before having, not
last minute anxiety.
Yeah, like I can't figure out, do I have everything? Because I'm pretty sure wherever I'm going to go, they're not going to have the thing I need. So I got to make sure I remember all of it. Yeah, I'm being funny because I
have notoriously overpacked art supplies for the last 2 decades, and I have in the last couple of trips stopped doing that, and am really, really happy with the results. So I think it's having the container and just a few key elements that I need, and I can do anything with just a little bit. Especially if I have backgrounds like this already made, it's so easy just to take it and continue working on it with limited supplies.
Yeah. And found supplies, right? So like
found supplies, so fun.
Yeah. I'll find things.
I was gonna mention Pattercross, one of my members. Pattercross did this really cool thing, and I want to make sure that I give her credit, but tag her in it too. She took a huge leaf from her vacation and she traced it it was like massive leaf, like filled 2 full pages in the journal. Traced around it, and then just wrote memories of, like, these leaves are massive and that sort of thing, right? But the travel journal, I love doing that kind of thing, right? And then like your I don't know, just the energy of the trip is there with you.
Yep, that's very true.
And I know you and I have done that a lot too with our rubbings and sticking sugar packets in the napkins from the restaurant and all of that.
These are drawing. I'm looking at one of the journals I did way back in the day, and I keep them forever.
Yeah.
And whenever I can always, because this one I think I did when I was I might have been in Hawaii, and who knows what all I was thinking, but I always think someone's going to find my journals and be like, what was she thinking? Because it doesn't really make sense. It's just whatever I'm thinking at the moment. And matter of fact, probably usually doesn't hold water. Like if I were to go back and read it, I'm not sure I would understand myself what was happening. But that's not the intention. The intention is to, in the moment, just enjoy putting my thoughts down. And that's an old journal.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you keep them too. I'm always curious what people do with them.
Yeah. And this one, this one I bought when I was in Amsterdam. This was like, many years ago. And I was sketching out an idea for maybe a class or something. Yeah, teacher. Yeah, I can see him. There's a bunch of notes in here about how I'm going to create a class. See, I think of people all the time. I'm thinking, what class can I offer people?
Mm-hmm.
Because I love a class, and I love I just feel like, so we started this with like just having a chance to stop.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do love about the art process. It makes me stop. And it's helped me with so many things. Sometimes I think, I'm like, I hope everybody has something that they do that helps them slow down, stop, reflect.
Yeah, it's so important. Whatever that practice looks like, to have something that you can shift gears, really, and just recognize that life does not have to go at that pace all the time.
No, it does not. And I don't know, I think whenever I slow down to think through different things and the ideas come, I'm glad that I did, right? Because I think going mile a minute to the next thing, I a lot of my journals, the ones where I do more sketching in, I don't have any handy, but those ones I can remember everything. I have ones that I'm like, I was in Paris and I'm in this little coffee house with friends, and I remember being there. I remember what the air smelled like, because everything slows down while I'm sketching.
Yes, so true.
For everything that happened. And that's the fun. It's better than photographs.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I love that so much about the practice of traveling and slowing down. Even if I'm just capturing, I can't possibly feel confident in my skills to capture everything. But if I captured even just like one my favorite thing is like a potted geranium or something in the courtyard of something, right? Just sit down and capture one little element and write about it. Man, that everything slows down in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Great thing.
Hey, Jana. Jana popped on right at the end. Sorry to have missed it tonight. You'll watch the playback tomorrow. Thanks, guys, everybody, for being here with us. We're at the end of our hour, Julie. We will definitely catch up more later. I will reach out to you. I'm heading up to Oregon next week, but we'll definitely stay tuned and plan our next Juicy Soul retreat. So everybody, if you did not see it yet, I'll make sure it goes in the description down below. Julie is Red Dragonfly Studio on Instagram. And we just had some fun conversation and art journaling together this evening. I added to 3 spreads. Julie got a whole bunch of stuff added to some backgrounds.
Yep, some painted pages that will keep drying, and put out in the patio, and who knows, I may just sit right here and keep going. Once it's all out, it's kind of hard to stop, right?
I know, right? Because why stop? Why stop?
Why? It's Friday. What else is there? At least for me, there's nothing else today.
There is nothing.